Hi everybody, I'm Kirsty Meakin from Nao Nails. In this video we're going to do a star design. We're going to use a bit of acrylic, but we're also going to use gel polish to create the stars. So first of all I'm going to show you how to create the actual structure of the nail, and I love this because it's really easy to do. It's something that somebody can change their design very easily as well, because I think this colour will go with anything because it's not too in your face, man. It's quite iridescent. I'm going to do a stiletto shape, which I think will suit the star design as well because of all those sharp edges of a star. Sculpting form on. Going to dehydrate with the Nail Prep dehydrator, and then we're going to use the Ultra Bond Acid Primer. I've already prepped the nail, so I've removed the surface shine, pushed the cuticles back. I'm going to be using a lot of clear. I love working with clear because it sets quite quick, and I just find it really easy to work with. When you add pigments to acrylic, they are a little bit more difficult. Not a lot, but a little bit different to work with. So, but clear I find the easiest acrylic to work with. I've got some stars, and these are from this little collection here. And we're also going to use these Mylars. They look very strong in colour in the pot, but when they're actually individual pieces, they're actually very slight. They're very slight colours. It's like when the light catches them, you see the colour. I've got high speed liquid. I'm going to work quite quick. Also using clear because I want it to have a transparent look to the nail. I'm going to start with a bead to create the length. Then I'm just going to sweep that up onto that natural nail, and I'm pulling this really thin. Give it a wipe with your brush, it'll keep it sticky, and then this is when we can pick some pieces up. Oh, I don't want that one, it's too big. A bit of the pink. So you can see now they're not really intense with colour, they just add a little bit of colour. Going to pick a little bead up, touch the stars. I can move them around where I want them. Now we're going to move up the nail, a nice thin layer. While that's wet and still sticky, this is when you're going to press your Mylar into it. See how that one curls the other way? So I'm going to flip that over because that'll curl to the shape of the nail. Put a few on my paper here so I can just pick those up easily. And then I'm going to pick some stars up again and spread those around. It's quite easy, this design, because you can just move these around. There's no like perfect placement of the stars or the Mylar. Now we're going to encapsulate, so we want quite a big bead, and then we're going to tip the finger down and start to bring that bead down the nail, encasing everything inside forever. So if you've got a client that likes to change their design a lot, using something like an iridescent glitter, Mylar, whatever, that iridescent tone will pretty much go with anything. So if somebody likes to change their design, I think it's quite a nice base to use, because we could put a bit of one stroke on this. We could put some love hearts. You could even just have it like this with a bit of bling. I'm going to let that set up a little bit. So as it starts to lose its shine, starts to go matte, this is the point where you can start to test pinch. So as I squeeze this nail, I am looking to see if the product is being pushed up or down, or if the actual nail is just contouring and pinching in. And once it gets to that stage, that's when you can put your pinching tool on, let the pinching tool give the nail a little bit of a pinch. Take that foam off now. I'm going to use my electric file. We're just going to skip round, and then we're just going to remove any bulk. file the nail now, filing my side walls first to get them nice and level. I'm going to get a 240 grit file and go around the cuticle, just so it's a bit soft around Andrea's cuticle area. Always using that rounded part of the file, that curved section, because it'll skip away from the skin. And then I'm going to contour. So I've buffed that nail. Now I'm going to clean all the nails. So we've repeated this on all these nails. Not this one. This one's from another video. Have you seen this video? This is done a little bit different. I like to give you a few different options of doing designs because, you know, it's nice to have different ways of doing it. You stuck out?
I'm stuck in your tissue.
It's nice to have different ways of doing things because sometimes a different way might be better for you. Cleaning underneath as well because I want them to be nice and transparent. I want that dust under there. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to top coat underneath. Just going to get that out the way. Pop that in the lamp. So pop them in like that, upside down, inside out. Right, so I've got from the Luminous collection all these colours. Hazardous, this one's called Hazardous, which is the yellow. And then we've got Outrageous Orange, Icy Blizzard, Octoplasma. No, not plasma.
Ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm.
Have you never seen Ghostbusters?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Piggy in the middle. So we'll start with Piggy in the middle, seems as that tickled your fancy. And what I'm going to do is use the gel polish as an art medium to create stars. So I'll do the sort of outside legs, those points first, and then fill that centre. Pop me that in the lamp. I'm going to do another coat just to really make that colour pop. It's a lot easier doing your second coat of colour. And you can also adjust it a bit. If you think, oh, you wanted that point a bit longer or thicker, you can adjust that at this point as well. Pop me that in the lamp. Right, so we're going to use, what's this called again, Adam?
Hazardous.
Hazardous.
It looks it actually.
Yeah, it looks a bit like toxic.
Yeah.
I like this colour that much, I'm going to do a full star. Pop that in the lamp for me. I'm going to do a second coat. Right, so we've got Icy Blizzard. And I'm sure some of you are going, oh, how do I even do a star? Right, so I'll show you how to do a star. So it's all about the straight lines. So first of all, you're going to do like a V shape. Can you see that V? And then you're going to go from this corner, halfway between this line, there. Okay? And then you're going to go from this corner here, halfway between this line, there. So as far out of this, but the dot goes halfway between. Then you can pull from that dot down to this bottom corner. And now we look like we're doing a, what's it called with the witches?
Pentacle.
Yeah.
Or also the Jewish, haven't it?
The Star of David.
Star of David.
Ah, yes. So if you struggle to sort of lay out your star, that's a good starting point. And then you can fill it in and adjust anything. So these little legs, I like to call them, you can adjust them too. So you can adjust as you go just to affect them. Pop me that in the lamp. So I'm going to do a few more in the different colours. Oh my god, what's it say?
Ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm. Yes, we'll do a bit of that, and then we'll also do outrageous orange as well. So now I'm going to top coat. That'll really show that transparent look. I'm going to buff these now because I am going to put a little bit of white paint on. Just going to use acrylic paint. So I'm buffing them so the paint actually adheres really well. And I'm also buffing to smooth the surface. So obviously with gel polish, everything becomes slightly raised where your artwork is. So I'm just going to wipe over with the gel residue wipe off solution just to clean those up. Then I'm going to use a detailer brush, a little bit of white paint mixed in with a little bit of water, just so it's smooth when it goes on, it's nice and smooth. And I'm just going to add little flashes of white. So I'm not going to completely outline the stars because that would take a long time, and I want this to be something easy that you can do in the salon. So I think that definitely enhances the stars. It's not too difficult. They just, you know, they're not perfect lines. I think that's the cool thing about them. They're not too difficult because they're not completely perfect stars. And the lines don't need to be completely perfect around the edge. They're just little bits of highlight. So I'm top coating now to smooth the nail and also seal in the white paint. And it's going to make it nice and shiny. I'm going to finish with some cuticle oil. Because what we need to get is the glow in the dark. The glow in the dark. You're going to have so much fun tonight.
And when they keep waking me up, I'm going to phone you.
And
I'm going to FaceTime you. And I'm going, look at these.
There you are, guys. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Everything that I've used today will be listed below. I'd love to see you do. I would love to see you guys recreate these. Hashtaggers. Don't forget. See you later. Bye-bye.
Right.
Well, I can't be perfect at everything, can I?